Good Thursday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Now, honestly, the cruise news has just been a little bit slow this week, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means no bad things are happening. And a quiet cruise news week usually means a good, quiet cruises for the passengers out there enjoying their cruise vacations. But I do have a couple of stories for you. Now, when new cruise ships come out, you know they get named a godparent. Lots of godmothers out there for cruise ships. We started to see some godfathers for cruise ships. Well, how about this one? We have a god city. And yes, I did say god city because Cunard Cruise Lines, well, they have named the new godparent for their brand new cruise ship, the Queen Anne. And the godparent is the city of Liverpool. Now, it is a little bit different to name an entire city as the godparent of your cruise ship. But you know, for Cunard Cruise Lines, I can see how it makes sense. Liverpool is the birthplace of Cunard Cruise Lines. Their very first transatlantic sailing departed from Liverpool 184 years ago, all the way back in July of 1840, and Liverpool has been the headquarters for Cunard Cruise Lines for 128 years. So congratulations to Cunard Cruise Lines and their brand new cruise ship, the Queen Anne. Next, we're going to hop over to Juneau, Alaska, because they have been working to limit the number of cruise passengers that arrive in Juneau on a regular basis. This process has been going on for a while. Originally, they were going to limit the number of ships. They were going to say no more than 5 ships per day. Originally, they talked about no ships on Saturdays. So this is not something new. This has been something they've been working on for a while, but they have come to an agreement, and what they are going to be doing is setting cruise passenger limit. So effective immediately, it will be no more than 16,000 passengers per day with a reduced amount of 12,000 passengers on Saturday. So what that's going to mean is it's really going to be based on ship's capacity. If you have some of the largest cruise ships in the world going to Juneau, Alaska, that have 4, 5, 6,000 passengers on board, you will have fewer ships in port. If you have smaller ships in port that hold 3,000 and 4,000 people, you could still have up to, let's say, 5 cruise ships in port, depending on the number of passengers, and of course, less on Saturday, with the cap only at 12,000. Now, since this went into effect immediately, there is the possibility that there may have to be a little reshuffling of some itineraries going forward. Nothing has been announced by any cruise line yet. No changes have been put out yet. 16,000 passengers a day. I mean, that's still a lot of people. Now, what makes this different, though, is this is not just the city of Juneau going, we don't want cruise passengers anymore. We're putting limits on them. We see things like that from Bar Harbor, Maine. We see things like that from Key West, Florida, where they just impose restrictions on cruise ships and say, no more than 1,000 passengers, like Bar Harbor did. This agreement here in Juneau, Alaska, it's completely different because it was done with both the city and CLIA, so the cruise lines and the city got together and came to an agreement together. That means no legal battles, no court fighting, no wondering, is it going to be different in 6 months to a year? It was a compromise between the two to come up with these numbers. Now, this is designed to benefit both the city and cruise passengers. Small towns in Alaska, they don't have the infrastructure built up to handle just an exuberant amount of passengers every single day. It provides a better environment for the residents that live there. It just reduces the impact on the resident. But it also helps with the cruise passengers because when it's less crowded, you have a better overall guest experience. Cities like Juneau, Alaska, they know they thrive on tourism. They want the tourism dollar, but they want it to be a balanced experience, both for the people that live there and for the cruise guests that come to visit. So it does sound like a very amicable compromise that they worked out together, and in the end, it's going to benefit both. And it also comes with an agreement for an annual meeting where they can look and say, okay, is this working? Is this not working? What can we change? What can we do better? What will improve the overall experience? And I think this would be a great example and a great model for other cruise ports that, have concerns over the number of cruise ships arrive, the number of cruise passengers that come off in their cities. get together with the cruise lines, get together with CLIA, work out something that works for both parties. Let the tourism come in, keep the tourism dollars, but help maintain the community at the same time. Honestly, they get along better if they would work together, and you avoid some of the court battles and some of the problems that the other ports have. All right, and that is going to be our video for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps the channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.